Good afternoon, everybody. Well, we've come to the end of our Tech for Good Summit today. Really amazing contributions from so many people over the course of today. We'd certainly like to thank all of the team in the Scottish Tech Army who've put this together, and of course our co-presenting partners, CodeClan, Inspiring Scotland, and Open UK. Looking back over all that we've heard today, I think the keynote presentations that we had Celia Tennant at the start of the day of Inspiring Scotland, who gave us tremendous insight into the environment within the third sector, what some of the challenges are, how technology has helped in a number of the organizations, and then the session we've just had with Ali Morano talking about Tech for Good at scale in JP Morgan Chase, an organization that's made a tremendous commitment to this. It was great also to hear from all of the other participants on the Tech for Good Titans panel. JP Morgan again represented, but Microsoft, Salesforce, and IBM. And these really are, in our mind, examples of what good looks like in terms of Tech for Good. So there's lots of really exciting work that's going on there, a lot for us to look at and learn from. But we've also roamed fairly far and wide in terms of the type of activities that go on in the Tech for Good space and our avenues of exploration. We had 3 teams taking part in our Volunteers Assemble challenge, and it was fantastic to see the level of creativity and enthusiasm amongst the teams, and we're looking forward to seeing how we can take those forward. We had a discussion with our Tech for Good ambassadors who represent the various different sectors that are participants in the Tech for Good ecosystem, and lots of really interesting things that came out of that. But one of the things we said at the start of the day was that we wanted to have a great day, and as Graham was saying in his closing remarks, we really want this to make a difference, really do want lives to change and to be improved as a result of things that start today. So we're looking very much to what are going to be the actions for the future. In my presentation at the start of the day, I talked a bit about the Tech for Good landscape. So I'd just like to recap on that, just to draw the day to a close with some of those thoughts in mind. And what do we think of, what do we see when we talk about Tech for Good, and particularly a Tech for Good ecosystem that can make an impact that's comprised of the efforts of many different organizations, many different individuals, and how can we scale that? I quoted from a Tech Nation report on Tech for Social Good, and it talked about how Tech for Good is not so much as a sector, it's a framework that creates action, and that's very much what we're keen to do. We have a series of follow-up events that we have planned, and so on our Eventbrite page, we have a list of the events that will be coming up in June. They'll be picking up on a number of the themes that came out of the discussions today. Would really encourage anybody who would like to get involved and be part of those conversations to go to that and to register to participate in those events. We'd like as a broad a contribution as we can possibly have for that. We think that the diversity of thought that we would get from that will be something that will create the best outcome. Looking at the current state of Tech for Good in the UK, talked about the fact that there are around 1,000 Tech for Social Good companies in the UK, and that's comprised of roughly 50% of them who are profit and purpose. They are for-profit companies, and the other half are not-for-profit companies. Looking at the graphic on the right, just demonstrates the fact that many of the organizations, the vast majority of these organizations, are relatively small in scale. And when you look at the impact that's created by organizations of the sort that we've had talking about their experiences today, the potential is just so much greater for what can be achieved. And looking at the gross value add of the UK tech industry, 42 billion in 2021, just 1% of that is 420 million. And one of the frameworks that's been articulated around that is one that was created by Salesforce and Atlassian, amongst others, in the early days, which is what they call their Pledge 1% program. So just a short clip to recap on some of the impacts that we think can be made using just a small proportion of the resources that are available to companies in the tech sector.
What will it take to change this planet we all share? Too much, right? Well, is 1% too much? 1% of an 8-hour workday is about 5 minutes. But over a year, that's 20 hours. What if we all gave 1%? What would that look like? What if everyone at your company spent 1% of their work time volunteering for a cause they really cared about? What if your company gave 1% of your product to those in need? What if every company gave 1% of their equity to a place that could make a big difference? Could we all solve society's biggest challenges together? Not only could we, it's working now. That's the model at Salesforce. Salesforce donates 1% of their time, product, and financial resources to organizations doing good in the world. It's called the 1% model, and if only 1% of you watching this today does this at your company, you will help make a significant difference. When you count it up, it's actually a lot.
So that 1% model is one that really resonates with us in that this doesn't require organizations to commit a huge proportion of their resources to doing this, but it does require a lot of organizations committing something. So what we're looking to coalesce and to bring together in order to bring this about, in order to create this change that we all want to see in the world, is what we're calling the Tech for Good Alliance. And we're encouraging every company that's participated in this session today and all the companies that they know and that they can reach to become part of the Tech for Good Alliance. We want organizations to join forces and to be responsible for leading positive change. This is something that can make a huge impact on some of the key challenges that we all face. What the Tech for Good Alliance is intended to be is a structured framework for engagement and to have organizations collaborate with each other in tackling some of the greatest challenges that we face, harnessing the human, technical, and financial resources of tech companies to deliver that benefit to civil society. We talk about how we want to aggregate, amplify, and augment the impact of the Tech for Good activities across the UK, and to develop consistent and coherent metrics to value the contributions of those individuals and organizations. We really do believe that it's possible to create a whole that's greater than the sum of the parts, even when those parts are very substantial global organizations. We've highlighted a number of them today. It's been really inspirational to see them. But if we could get the top 100, 500, 1,000 tech companies in the UK to participate in a program like this, the impact that could generate would be absolutely enormous. The way that we see this working is a model that we've developed, which we call the 6 Ps of the Tech for Good Alliance. That's comprised of, first of all, a series of pillars, which are areas of focus. I think it's important that we target the efforts that we're going to collate towards a defined set of challenges. Within those pillars, we'll have individual projects, which are the Tech for Good projects that will deliver the impact that we're all seeking to deliver. We work with a number of partners, which are organizations that are active in one of these pillars, that have a track record of delivery, that we know already do great work, and that we can help to amplify the work that they do and increase the impact that they have. The participants in the program, the members of the Tech for Good Alliance, are the companies that will commit as Tech for Good Alliance members to be part of this and to deliver these outcomes. From within the Scottish Tech Army, we have a pool of volunteers who would be available to volunteer onto some of these projects as well. And ultimately, we see this creating a platform that can underpin all of these 3 pillars. So the model graphically looks like this. We have the 3 pillars. So the topics that we've chosen to kick this off are social justice, inclusion, and equality, skills and talent development, and environment and climate change. All of them obviously huge areas of challenge, but also of opportunity. So in each of these areas, we'll have the projects that we'll promote from the partners that we're working with, encouraging the companies in the tech sector, the tech-related sector, to commit their resources to working on these projects, and complement that with individual volunteers from the pool of talent that we've assembled within the Scottish Tech Army, ultimately looking to create a platform that will underpin all of this, which could include core data sets. It could include things like an open source repository of solutions. It would have a metrics framework. So all of these things would be consistent across all of the 3 pillars. So that brings us to the end of today. The one thing I hope everybody remembers coming out today is the Tech for Good Alliance. This is something that we think has tremendous potential, and we'd encourage anybody who's watching, who is interested in this, go to the website, the web page that we've set up for this, sta.ngo/alliance. Register your interest there, and we'd love to engage with as many companies as possible who want to be part of the change that we all want to see. So with that, thank you very much to all the participants today. Thank you to all of you who've attended and participated. We'd love to hear your feedback, and we very much look forward to working with as many of you as possible to deliver on the Tech for Good Alliance. Thank you very much.